Yo, yo. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let me make sure it's all on here. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see the chart? Thank you guys for joining today. All right. We're about to get started. I don't know why I can't see how many people are on here. How can I pull up the chat here on let's see. No. I want to be able to pull up the chat for YouTube on here, but I don't know why I can't. Alright, cool. We're gonna do NQ and ES. We're gonna do an overview real quick, but I'm about to tell you what happened and what's happening. So let's see. Make sure we got everyone on here. Alright, cool. Let's get started. Okay, obviously you guys see the sell-off, right? Whoever was here on yesterday's overview, you guys remember how we drew it on the 4 hour, should see continuation. So let me remove this here. Okay, so what I currently want to see happen around here is I'll post a screenshot, but I alerted sells at 29.050, and if you guys were here yesterday, you guys understand why. So just give you a quick rundown real quick. We knew that we broke below this low for continuation here, right? So the first step 1, break. Step 2, imbalance, order block. Step 3, fibs from the high to the low. Step 4, wait for the retest. So we waited for the retest here, and then we just banked on the sells to target the low. Now, I wouldn't want to trade anything else here. Now, the reason being is because we have currently 30 minutes left for the 4 hour to break on ES. So we've broken on NQ, but we haven't broken that 4 hour on ES just yet. We have 27 minutes left. As you guys can see, let me remove everything here real quick. As you guys can see, this 4 hour is pretty crucial here for ES. It held last time here, and just kept going higher. So this is why right now for higher confirmation, I need this low to break on the 4 hour time frame. Now, if we do break on the 4 hour time frame here, Mondays are usually for manipulation. What I would want to see happen is I would want to see a pop as a nice retest to the upside to come and fill this gap and then reject, right? Or if we can break it down to a smaller time frame on the hourly and then just continue selling off. All just depends. Really nothing crazy to trade down here anymore. You know, if the 4 hour does close below in the next 27 minutes, your next TP is here. So that's where you need to start thinking like, okay, is my risk to reward even worth it here, or should I just be disciplined and wait for, you know, in the morning? Maybe there's a better setup. Maybe there's a better risk to reward. Maybe it's more minimal risk, more maximum reward than trying to short here just to target this low here. Does that make sense? Volume. Yeah, so that's why you want the first 4 hours to close. Always remember, if you guys are trading Asian session isn't always this clean, right? We usually been having nice moves during Asian session lately. Obviously, right now we had a nice move because of the news over the weekend, and that's why I personally like to take Mondays off, because what I let Monday do is I let Monday digest the news that happened over the weekend and see whatever happens, and I come Tuesday, there's already a setup there. So that's me personally. That's why I've been, you know, consistent. How I'm good to be able to trade the rest of the week and not miss is by just waiting for Monday to do whatever it wants. So for example, we're gonna chart up here. Let's just go ahead and do. Let's just go ahead and show you NQ real quick. So as you guys can see on NQ, right, we broke the 4 hour low up here. We want to see this 4 hour low break as well. So still 25 minutes on this and on ES as well. Bro, Asian session has been clean last few months. I wouldn't say last few months, bro. I would say past couple. Okay, let's go ahead. Look, bro. You know what? Not even worth it. Not even worth it. Yeah. So it's been nice right now. It's been good. But let's go ahead and break this down. All right. Let's go ahead and start from scratch, charting this up for you guys, and then we'll break it down. So if you guys were here yesterday, you guys said that was very informational. You guys learned a lot. So that's good. So let's go ahead and break it down into today. So let's mark up our previous day low here. All right. and then we're going to identify our next target. So the way I identify my TPs and my stop losses is simply identifying highs and lows, and I follow market structure and price action, right? Keep it very, very simple. You don't have to overthink anything. Just keep it simple. So for me, I'll just put D as my daily low, right? And I'll mark this up right here. And I'll just set an alert. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the 4 hour on NQ now. So if we look at the 4 hour, like I said, on Friday, we retested the 50%, as you guys can see right here with my 4-step strategy. It hit perfectly fine, right? Okay, if you are new, I'm gonna run through the strategy real quick. All right, everyone pay attention. This is gonna be, I did this last time in 2 minutes. Well, how much was it? A minute and 47 seconds. All right, watch this. Step 1 is a break. Step 2, OB/imbalance. Step 3, fibs. And then step 4, retest. Right, so these are the things I look for me to be able to enter a trade. So how can I explain that in simple terms here, right? So we broke below in the 4 hour here, right? This is already step 1, break. Step 2, order block right here. Step 3, order block and imbalance all this, and then order block. Step 3, fibs from the high to the low. I use body to body. I don't use wick to wick. I use body to body. I say it one more time. I use body to body, now wick to wick. And then I wait for a retracement, and then it happened, right? So let me show you how we caught those sells earlier. So if we look at the hourly, right, this looked beautiful for everyone here. Me personally, I didn't short up here, as like I said, Asian session is not something I love trading. It's here. It's sometimes I trade it, sometimes I don't. I only trade it when I have confirmation on every time frame. So let me show you guys here. Did we retest this hourly imbalance here? Yes. Okay. And I believe it was a 15-minute and 30-minute break. So if you guys look here, we broke on the 30-minute, right? So same thing again. Step 1, break. Step 2, order block, imbalance. Step 3, fibs from the high to the low. You'll take it right here. And look at that. I can't make this shit up right off the open. Where did it tap into? The 50%. But you got to think about this as well. What other piece of confluence is there? You can't just smack it just because there's a fib. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you, oh, I would have just smacked it because the fib is there. No. Why would you have smacked here? You would have smacked here because you also had your imbalance that got completely filled, right? And if you look at your 15-minute, how do you identify your risk to reward in this situation? You break it down to small time frame to make your risk very minimal. Now, why is that? That is because you're taking a setup from the larger time frame. So you already have a higher confidence and higher confluence setup here because you're taking it from the larger time frame. And as I said yesterday, some time frames work as a domino effect. So if the larger time frame is telling you, hey, it's bearish and it's retesting the bearish zone on the larger time frame, you want the smaller time frame to match as well. So what does that mean for me here? I need if the 4 hours bearish and the 1 hour is bearish for me, I need the 30-minute and the 15-minute to be bearish as well to match in this situation. So what was my risk to reward here? My entry would have been at the 50%, and my stop loss was this 15-minute high, which is a close above on the 15-minute above this order block here, and my first TP would have been the previous day low here. And as you guys can see, that's already a 1 to 3 risk to reward trade, so that's an amazing setup. Do you guys see that? Do you see how I plugged up the 4 steps very, very easily here? I'm gonna show you again on the move I actually caught. I didn't catch this one off the open. I'd be lying to you. I didn't catch this one. I wasn't trading off the open. I waited for a little bit more price action to happen, and I'll show you guys right now. But can I see some ones if you guys are understanding so far? How I plugged this 4 steps very easily here. I'll do gold in a little bit. New to your channel, how are you? I'm good, bro. How about yourself? I agree. Context matters for every trade. It builds your exactly, and it's not just that, bro, but it builds confidence for you because the more evidence you have, it's like think of this as a crime scene, right? Like, do you think officers just go to a crime scene and be like, oh, just that? Yep, he's guilty. No, they look for other pieces of evidence, right? They'll look for like hair follicles, nails, just a bunch of things. So same thing here. I don't know why I compared it to that, but you just look for evidence here to be able to snipe the entry into whatever position you want to take. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. All right, if you guys said that made sense to you guys now, let me show you on where I took it right now. So for me personally, right, on the 15-minute, this was a low. As you guys can see, this was the lowest point, and then the market pushed up. But what confluence do you guys see here for me? Some of you guys are brand new, so you don't know what indicators I use. I only use 2 indicators, and I'm going to tell you guys why. I don't like relying on indicators. I don't like relying on too much shit. I use indicators to make it more of a work smarter, not harder. So what 2 indicators I use? 1, imbalance finder, and 2, it marks up, which is called the daily, weekly, monthly, yearly open. It will mark up the daily, weekly, yearly, and monthly open for me. Why is that important? Having your daily and weekly opens are important because they act as support and resistance. Okay, an example here. We use this as support in the daily open and try to push up. Well, cool. It got below the low day. It used the daily opens as what? Resistance, resistance, resistance. You guys see that? So then, okay, if I knew now that we rejected off the 30-minute time frame here and we broke the low of previous day low for continuation, and then we broke this low that pushed us up for continuation, now I know that I have a setup on the 15-minute. So I do the same 4 steps over and over again. So step 1 is the break. So I'll show you. This here are wicks. This is not a break for me. This is not a break for me. These are just wicks. So this could have been a bullish sign saying, hey, it wants to hold. I'm not going to jump the gun and I'm not going to short, especially shorting at low day, right? Even here, people probably chased down here thinking we're going to go lower and got bagged and got stopped out here. But this is where you enter. Why is that where you enter? Okay. Step 1, break, right? Step 2, order block. Order block and imbalance. Where's your imbalance? Your imbalance is right here, which is a gap, right? And what's step 3? What's step 3? Let's see if you guys remember. Before I do it, tell me if you guys remember. What's step 3? Key, sauce, key, opens or go to, yep. What's step 3? Who remembers? Come on. I know you guys got this. Remember, I wrote down the 4 steps for you. I know YouTube's a little laggy, like 15-30 second delay, so I'm going to give you guys couple seconds. Fibs, okay? So then I draw my fibs from the high, from the body to the body of the low. The lowest point is this red one. Boom. Retest it. What did it retest? My 50%. Now you think again, okay, what confluence does it have here? Okay, it has my 15-minute imbalance, it has my 15-minute 50%, and it has the 15-minute break of structure, simple support and resistance. Old support turns to new what? New resistance. And you see how we reject it? Nice. What up, KTD? What up, bro? But yeah, simple as that. See how we reject it? And then my TP is literally the low here. And that's exactly how I took those cells here. And my risk was very, very minimal. And if you look as well, you can also use just a 5-minute time frame if you don't want to play too aggressive, right? Does everyone understand how that 1 minute, how that all worked out, right? Now let's say that you guys missed it on the 15-minute, or you were hesitant or scared to, hey, let me not just smack it at the fib. Okay, that's something that I said not to do sometimes, right? Sometimes you want to go to a small time frame to match, because what did I say time frames work as? A domino effect. So let's say you didn't smack it right away on the 15-minute. What are you going to wait for? You're going to wait for a 1 minute break and retest, right? So same thing here. If we look at the 1 minute, this was the last up move and then the last down move that caused a break above the high, meaning it wanted to continue higher. Okay, so it broke above this high here. So then this is my new low. As you guys can see here, we broke the low, right? And then what happened after that? It came to retest, right? Step 1, break. Step 2, let's see, identify your order block, imbalance, and then your fibs. Boom. Again, the same 4 steps over and over and over and over again, guys. I can't make this shit up. It's so repetitive. Trading is just patterns, literally over and over. You just do the same shit over and over, and then you identify your risk. Where let's say you got in here, right? Even if you didn't get in at the optimum, which would have been better, right? Let's just say you got in here. Your stop loss is a 1 minute close above here, and your first TP would be, like I said, that low that pushed you back to the upside. That's already a 1 to 2 risk to reward right there on a smaller time frame and playing it more aggressive, right? But this is where you're already more confident, because you're like, okay, my 4-hour matches, my 1 hour matches, my 30-minute matches, my 15-minute matches, my 5-minute matches, and then now my 1 minute matches. Oh fuck yeah, everything matches here. Why would I not take this trade? It'd be dumb of me to not to take this trade. Does that make sense? And I'll post a screenshot on Twitter a little bit. I texted it to the group chat. I said 29.050 for retest to continue to the lows. Simple as that. That's all you wanted to see. It literally hit 29.050 exactly and then rejected. It's like I make this shit up, but I'll show you guys this timestamp and everything. But yeah, does everyone understand that? Yeah, right. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Just over and over and over. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so then now let's actually get down to charting up the whole chart. So let's go ahead and chart up the chart. So let's delete this. Let's delete this. We know that we already got this over with. This is previous day low. We know that this here is currently the 4-hour low. So I'm really not going to mark it up because we have 15 minutes. I'll just come back to it in 15 minutes, see if we broke below or we held. But I am going to leave it on ES because, as you guys can see, it doesn't want to break it. It doesn't want to go crazy off of it. You guys see this? And most importantly, here, I'm going to give you a sauce. Look at this. Look at this. This is going to be a key factor why I don't want to continue shorting down here. Most of you guys, how many of you guys would have kept shorting here? Be honest. Be honest. Just be honest. How many of you would have thought, like, oh, we're going to continue selling off. Let me keep smacking sells. Just be honest. Say me if you would have. Because I know a lot of you guys would have. But I'm going to tell you guys why I wouldn't want to continue shorting. And I'm going to show you right now. Maybe you can understand. You? Yep. Okay. At least you recognize it. But look, I'm going to put you on game. Why wouldn't you want to continue shorting here? So the thing for me here is you got to look at the time always. Always look at the time. Look at your larger time frame. So for me personally, I already know that the 4-hour closes at 9 p.m. Central for me, right? So if I know it closed at 9 p.m. Central, and if I see, the hour before that, if it broke below it, then I would say, hey, it does want to continue lower to break it. But as you guys can see here, that hourly held, right? That hourly held. So what does this all mean? This could be like, okay, we're going to hold the hourly and we have 1 hour left for the 4-hour. We're going to act like we're going to continue selling it off. We're going to trap late bears here, and then we're going to pop it. Do you guys see that? Why do I think like that? You just got to think both scenarios and both sides, because if they're holding it on the hourly and doesn't have confirmation on the 4-hour, that's going to tell you that, hey, this doesn't want to go lower. It just doesn't want to go lower beyond this 4-hour here. Does that make sense? And do you guys see that? Why I like to look at every single time frame. So when people ask like, oh, like what time frame do you use? I know if you guys are new, that was my biggest question when I first started trading was, okay, bro, well, what time frame do you use? And I used to hate when people would be like, every time frame, bro. I'm like, okay, fucking, sarcastic ass, like bro, like what? So I know it sounds dumb, like it sounds like they're being a douche, but no, it's true. You use every time frame. Now I'll explain it a little bit better. What do I mean by that? So like I said, time frames working in domino, you just want to make sure that every time frame matches. You want to make sure that every time frame is going to have the break and it's having that market structure shift of the direction that you're wanting it to and of your previous low. And if it doesn't, then that's already hinting to you, hey, we don't want to go lower on the hourly. We just want to go lower on the small time frame. But if we're holding on the hourly, we're most likely going to hold on the 4-hour. So then you're just patient enough to wait the next 13 minutes to say, if it breaks below the low, then we want lower. If it holds it, let me stay away from looking for downside, and let me just look for a structure shift on the upside on a 5-minute, 15-minute, and look to target the highs again, right? Does that make sense there? That is like a free game that I'm gonna put you guys on. So if you ever asked someone before, hey, what time frame do you use, and they were smart, they weren't being smart as telling you every time frame, it wasn't about them being douches to you guys. It was them just telling you, like, we actually use every single time frame. You just have to understand what do they mean by that. And this is exactly it. Making sure every time frame has the same market structure. Don't know if I am here, but the sound is pretty low. Let me see if this helps. Is it louder now? What about now? You're entering longs? Yeah, I mean, honestly, longs can work, but me personally, I wouldn't long without a market structure shift to the upside. But like I said, if this 4-hour low holds here, then yeah, longs are pretty obvious, right? Because if you look at NQ, look at this push. Look at this push. You have 12 minutes left. This is already almost a 100-point push from the lows. And we didn't break below this low for continuation. So this is another sign of bullishness. There's another sign saying, hey, I don't want to go lower. You can't ignore these signs, right? If you see a down move that pushed up and it doesn't want to break below that, that is the key factor of saying it doesn't want to continue. That bitch does not want to go lower. It wants to hold, and wants to possibly push up. But that doesn't mean you also just smack buys and long it just to long it. No, you have to wait for a confirmation. What does that mean? You have to wait for either a 5-minute, 1 minute, 15-minute market structure shift up to the upside to be able to validate the buy setup and to be able to minimize your risk. So let's go, for example, here. If I was to long here, right, knowing that we have 12 minutes, I personally wouldn't. I'd be lying to you guys if I said I would have. But if I was to look for longs, I'd wait for a 1-minute shift. So I know that we broke below this low here on the 1 minute. So I know this is my high that needed to break above. Okay, we broke above here. Okay, so my 4 steps again. Step 1, break. Step 2, identify my order block. Okay, and then identify my imbalance, which is right here. And then step 3, I draw my fibs from my low to my high, and then I just wait for a retest, right? So this here would have been my high. We came to retest the imbalance. We didn't tap the 50%. So for me personally, I wouldn't have got in if it didn't tap my 50%, because at this point I would have just smacked it just for tapping my imbalance. And sometimes you do that. Sometimes I do that as well. But that's just understanding the market sentiment. But realistically, me knowing that I have 10 minutes left for the 4-hour, I'm not gonna jump the gun. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I just wouldn't. I prefer being patient for a larger time frame shift. But the same 4 steps, you do it again here, right? Simple as that. Does that make sense there? And that's how you just play both sides. You can't marry the position or marry one side, you know, because we already know that we already hit the target on the larger time frame that we needed to hit anyway. So we know that this is a possible area where it could bounce, right, off of, we're slowly going based off of ES, right, off of ES. Because if you look here, there's some divergence. It looks like NQ is going to break it, but ES is possibly going to hold it. And then for me, is like, why do I want to trade that type of divergence, right? Look at that, over 100 points from the low. Beautiful. We'll put on earphones now. But yeah, I hope this made sense to you guys. Hope this is making sense to you guys. You know, hope you guys are seeing why it's bouncing, why it rejected. It's not. Sometimes I know we think like, damn, the market's against this. Market's seeing where I'm at. What it's doing? No, bro. Like, it's a reason it's bouncing and bouncing from that zone. It's a reason it rejected from the zone, right? And your job is just to find that confluence, meaning find that evidence why it did that. You know, and that's pretty much it. That's literally it, guys. But let's go ahead and continue charting it up. So, okay, let me mark up my weekly level. So, weekly, I would want to see, if we look at all this weekly, we have this gap. Now, do I think we come and fill this? Oh, we don't have to. We never have to. The biggest thing everyone fails is because everyone's trying to short and short and short. And don't get me wrong, I love shorting. Shorting is my favorite thing to do. But also, I'm not going to short when there's no confirmation for me. Yeah, so I would love to see us come down on the weekly here, right? And I'm just going to leave this 50%. I'm not gonna mark up my optimal premium. I'll just mark it up later on if we're down this zone. So I already know that, hey, if we come down here, I can expect a reaction. Now, does that mean I'm gonna smack it as soon as we hit down here? No, I'm not. I'm going to wait for a market structure shift, maybe on the hourly or 4 hour, because I know this is a weekly level time frame, a larger time frame level where we can possibly bounce, right? Okay, so let's go back into the daily. So if we look at the daily, we know that this was the last down move that caused a break above the high. So what's the next draw of liquidity here? So like I said, if the 4 hour breaks on NQ here, what do you guys think I'm gonna target next? What is the biggest thing I say time frames work as, guys? What does time frame work as? How do they work? And if you ever feel like you have to jump the gun to take a trade, then you're just gambling. You need to have a strategy that works over and over, time and time again, guys. Yeah, never marry a bias, man. That was my biggest downfall when I first started trading like 7-8 years ago, was just trying to catch one side, bro. Just trying to catch one side. Bro, he's funny as fuck. Domino effect, right? Okay, cool. So then for me, if I know that NQ breaks this 4 hour here, then I know going into tomorrow and going into the rest of the week, I'm going to look to target what? My daily low. Because if the 1 hour broke the 4 hour low, it's now trying to target my daily low. But then you have to realize, if ES doesn't break, then I would have to ignore that bias, or I would have to ignore that thought in my head, right? But I won't forget about it if it does break below the 4 hour. I would have to wait for me to switch that bias. It would have to break above this high on the hourly time frame. I'll say it again. It would have to break above this high on the 1 hour. So I'm going to just set my alert. So that's what I do. I just draw my levels and I set my alerts. I don't have to sit here and watch the chart. So if it breaks above on the hourly, I know it's going to continue higher, right? But if it does break right now on the 4 hour, and then let's say ES, let's look at ES now. Let's break down ES on the hourly. Okay, same thing here. ES needs to stay below this hourly high here, which is a pretty big range. So what does that tell you for the range? If this is a big range, I like to size down. There's no need for me to put on risk on a big range like this, okay? Okay, so let's say the 4 hour does hold on ES here in the next 6 minutes. We can look at the 15-minute time frame. We know it broke the low for continuation. So then I mark up my high. So I know this is my last up move that caused a break. So if we break above this 15-minute high, then I know we continue higher, right? Okay, now think of this. Ready? I'm about to put you guys on game. Ready? This is how you use both ES and NQ. Okay, Now let's say that NQ does break the 4-hour low in 4 minutes. Let's say that NQ does break it, okay? Then you would want to take an entry on NQ. Then you know that this here is going to be your 15-minute high, which is this one here. Now you guys may be like, why is this not my 15-minute high? Let's look at the difference, right? Let's look at the difference here. You guys are ready? NQ broke it. Sorry, ES broke it. NQ didn't, right? It's a little divergence here. NQ ES broke, NQ didn't. So my high, that the last high that caused a break was this one here. So this right here is my 15-minute high, all right? So this is my 15-minute high. Okay, but then let's say we do close below the 4-hour on NQ. Let's mark it up just so you guys aren't confused. Here, 4-hour. Let's say we do close below 29,075, and I'm gonna stay on live so you guys can see this happen in real time. Let's say we do close below that, then I would just draw my fibs from the high to the low again, right? The lowest point we went. And then what I could wait for, if it does close below there in the next 4 minutes and we tap into the optimal level, which is this one here, then I would look for a what? I would look for what, guys? What do you think? What do you guys think I would want to see here at this level? Higher time frames, pullbacks are a mini trend lower. Exactly, bro. Higher time frame. What up, D-Meech? Yep. But what do you guys think I would want to see here? Damn, no one liked this stream except you. You're a real one, bro. You know what? ASD, message me on Twitter. You won the giveaway account, bro, for being the only one liking the stream. I appreciate you. Make sure to message me and screenshot this. Yes, I would wait for a retest, but also what would I want to see here? I would want to see a retest and then a market structure shift on the smaller time frame, because obviously smaller time frame, it's already going bullish, right? It's already going bullish. So let's say we do tap into the optimal. So let's say we do tap into here, and this is going to be my low. I would wait for this low to break, retest that, and then continue down lower. That's pretty much it, right? And then you would want to see the 15-minute stay below on ES as well. But if it comes and retests here and ES closes above this 15-minute, I'm no longer looking for shorts at all. I would not look for shorts at all, because that's telling me there's some big divergence there. ES wants to continue higher, but NQ has confirmation down. But then that means that now NQ is going to target the 15-minute high to try to go bullish like ES did. And that's why I just stay away and I just wait for the next morning, or just wait overnight, see whatever it does, and then I look for a trade. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool. I have four accounts to give away for you guys, so that's the first one. You guys got to be participating. You guys got to be liking the stream. I can't just give free shit to you guys and you guys aren't doing anything for me. You know, like, this has got to be a win-win, bro. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for the strategy there. But let's just keep marking this out. Let's finish marking out. Let's do ES real quick, and then we'll finish on NQ. I just don't want you guys to be confused here. So this is my previous day low. Cool. And also the 4 is about to close right now. We are going to close below previous day low on the 4 hour. So then you think about that as well. That's another piece of confluence, right? Okay, the larger time frame closed below previous day low, which is good. So then you mark that up and you use that as another piece of confluence. Okay, let's go previous day high. Set an alert here. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Cool. Okay, sorry. Before I move forward, let's go to my daily. We have this gap here that we could possibly come back, but let's go into, okay, look at this. We have this unmitigated imbalance on the weekly time frame, right? Okay, almost missed that. So then we put weekly imbalance. So then we know that if it taps into here, we can see a reaction, right? But what would we want to see if we do tap into there? If we do tap into that area, this is what I would want to see. I'd want to see tap into this weekly imbalance, but hold this low on the daily, because that is my daily low, my last low that caused a break above the high for continuation. So we're possibly selling off right now to target this weekly imbalance, and then hold this low on the daily, and then we can pop nasty. Now it makes sense why we're selling off. Okay, cool. This is why you go through every time frame now. Let's go to 4 hour close below. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Sorry, that was my cup, bro. I was drinking something. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so the 4 hour close below. So what do you guys think I do? Step 1, break. Step 2, order block imbalance. I don't have it on the 4 hour, but then I draw my fibs on the 4 hour. So then I just come here. I set my 4 hour 50%. I'm gonna let you guys screenshot these levels and look how they work out tomorrow, from overnight into tomorrow morning. Sorry, not 4 hour though. 4 hour fib here. Cool, cool. And if we make a lower low, like the body closes on the 4 hour, then I have to update my fibs, right? But so far, this is crazy. We close below on the 4 hour. This is insane. Yeah, this wants lower. This definitely wants lower. But we gotta look at the other time frame and see if there's anything it could possibly push back up to retest, right? So then let's delete this. Let's go into our hourly. We already retested that, so no reason to push back up there. 30-minute. Oh, okay. We have this unmitigated 30-minute imbalance here, right? So we know we can use this as a piece of confluence where the market possibly come up to. So what I want you guys to do for me real quick, I want you guys to screenshot this. And this is where I possibly expect a reaction. If we can pop to retest and then reject here. So 74.18 on ES, okay? Let's go on the 15-minute. Yeah, okay. Also look, this is another way. If we tap into this 15-minute gap here. Oh, this one's a little bit better. This one's better. Who can guess what I would want to see here? Oh, let's see if you guys paid attention. Who can guess what I want to see if it does tap into this imbalance? What do you guys think I want to see happen here? This is going to be a good one. Whoever gets this right, fuck it, you get a free account. You get a free account. Let's see who gets it right. Yeah, ASD, you won, bro. Please message me on Twitter. I'll message you back after the stream. Close. Come on, Demeech. Tell me the answer. Everyone. No. Why would I love this area more? What do I want to see happen here? Who can get it right? Come on. Yes, a retest, but what? Look at what I was explaining to you guys. What do I have here? What do you not want to see happen? Reject daily and weekly open. Not yet. Feeling bad. Oh, Andy. Great fucking job. That is the answer, Andy. Good job. You get the other account. Message me on Twitter. Screenshot this. Ready? Screenshot it. You get the other account. Very good answer, Andy. What I want to see here is fill the imbalance but close below the 15-minute high. Why is that? Because if it closes below this 15-minute high, that's telling me it wants to go bullish. But if we tap into the bearish rejection zone here and stay below the 15-minute, what is that telling you guys? What is that trying to entail? It's trying to tell you, hey, we don't want to continue higher. We close below the high. We want to continue lower now that we fill this gap on the 15-minute. Boom. And that's how you look for entries, and that's how you just wait for the setup to come to you. Very good fucking job, Andy. Great job. Great job, bro. There you go. I don't think the market will go there. Your job isn't to think, bro. Your job is to react. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, cool. You know, I just say that this is a higher probability setup than me trying to play a 1 minute shift to the downside here, which we could have, right? We could, if it breaks the 1 minute here, we can look for downside. But then I'm playing that very aggressive on the 1 minute, and I personally think we do get up there because we're holding this low on the 1 minute, as you guys can see. We're holding this low on the 1 minute. Now, if it does break, you could take sells, but me personally, I wouldn't want to take sells down here, because your risk reward is very minimal. It's a very aggressive trade compared to waiting for a 15-minute tap into here, filling some of that imbalance, staying below the 15-minute high, trapping the late bears here just to, you know, trap some liquidity in there. Makes more sense. So yeah. Who's Andy? Oh, you're Andy? All right, bet. John Carter. All right, message D1 and only. He's gonna give you your account. No, I'm kidding. I got you, but hold on. But good job. That's a good answer. That's a great answer, bro. That's what no, you didn't, bro. You said return to order block imbalance. You didn't say what he said. Return to the imbalance and stay below the 15-minute high. I want exact answers in here. I don't want half-ass answers. You guys got to give exact answers. Like, you guys got to think about the whole situation here. You just can't say, oh, imbalance tap. That's not it. That's not all the confluence you need. The other confluence you need is for it to stay below the 15-minute high. That's the other confluence you need. But yeah. Cool. All right, so I think we're pretty much done on ES. Let me just make sure. Hey, we got the weekly. Wait, we didn't mark out the weekly fibs. Okay. Damn. We can do it from. Let's go on the daily. We can do it from this unmitigated area here, from the low to the high. Okay, look at this. Daily optimal right into the weekly imbalance, which is this here. I'll just set that there. I'll set my alert. Oh, sorry. I'll set my alert, and then that's pretty much it. I don't need to draw up anything. I don't need to, nothing else for me here. Nothing else for me. Let's go do NQ real quick, and then we're gonna be done for the night. Okay, let's look at the daily low. Previous day low. We also closed below on the 4 on NQ, right? I can delete this. So that's good. So then we can take our fibs from the high to the low on NQ, and then just draw up our 4-hour levels in case we do pop up here. We know why if it does pop here and it has a reaction, we know why it rejected off of there. We don't want to just be caught by surprise and be like, oh, what is it doing? Market's just doing whatever it wants. No, it has a reason why it's doing it. Let's mark up that. Set our alerts here. Here. Remember, tonight is the last night. Also, thanks for just showing that notification. Today's the last night to join the Discord for 3 free day trial, guys. Okay, let's go into the 1 hour now. So we got the 1 hour marked up. Okay, cool. Let's go into the 30-minute. We got the 30-minute marked up. We have an imbalance here on the 30-minute that we haven't tapped into. So 30-minute. Right, these are all just like all these that you drop is just evidence that it left behind. If it wants to go back to it, cool. If it doesn't, then you just play the structure. That's what I call trading within that range. You trade different ranges. This is one range here. There's another range here for me. That's how I trade. Cool. We can see at the 15-minute, it keeps rejecting that 50%. Right, it doesn't want to continue higher than the 50%. But then let's go into the 5-minute, see what's going on. The 5-minute never broke below, so I can't say this is my high. My high is still this one here, but let me set my alert here so I don't fuck around. Okay, so if we keep rejecting the 50% on the 1 minute, on the 15-minute, sorry, then let's see what is the 1 minute doing. The 1 minute currently, the 1 minute did break the low. Okay, so then you do your 4 steps here. Step 1, break. Step 2, order block and imbalance here, right? So you'll mark this up, boom, and then you know that this is your last up move that caused a break below the low there. So this is your risk here, and then you do step 3, which is what? Your fibs from the high to the low, and then you wait for a retest, boom, hit the optimal, reject it. So you identify your risk to reward off that 1 minute here, entry here, and then your first take profit is this one here. That's the low that pushed you up. So that's already a 1 to 7.5, but realistically you want to try to target the low a day, and then after targeting low a day, that's 1 to 5, you want to then target the daily low. Now let me tell you something. Let me be honest with you guys. That looks like a perfect setup, right? You know what? This is how I'm gonna trick you guys. That looks like a beautiful setup for continuation, right? Okay, that looks like a beautiful continuation there. Okay, let me ask you this: how many of you would have taken that? So same 4 steps there, right? Who would have took that? Who would have took that? Why can't I see the comments? Are the comments delayed or is my shit tripping? Like tempting, it's low key not my strat, but I like the idea personally. Okay. Well, let me be honest with you guys. I wouldn't have taken that, and let me explain why. Why wouldn't I have taken that trade? I wouldn't have taken that trade because ES never broke below the low. if ES would have also broke below the low in that 1 minute there, like NQ did, then I would have had high confidence of taking that setup there. But I didn't. It didn't break. So for me, this means that ES is still trying to hold up. As you guys can see, ES still wants to hold up, but NQ wants to continue lower. So for me to look for downside on NQ, I need ES to also break on the 1 minute here. As you guys can see, it's holding. So if it does break below this low right now in the next minute, that means this is just going to sell off with nice momentum to the downside, right? Now, what is the key note that's happening here as well? We have the 29,000 psych level on NQ here holding, right? So even though we shifted on the 1 minute, we came down to the low. The 29,000 psych level is currently holding on NQ. The low on ES is currently holding on the 1 minute. But if we break below the 1 minute low on ES here, that's going to put us below the 29,000 psych level in NQ as well. And that's a high probability setup for it to continue lower. Simple as that. Does everyone understand that? Oh, you know ball. Bro, I've been doing shit for 8 years, bro. I know ball, bro. This is a setup that cost me my account. Damn. So that's personally why I wouldn't take it. I would wait for both of them to match. As you guys can see, ES keeps holding. It held again, right? It looks very tempting. It looks very good. Like, hey, it wants to continue lower. You know, we are getting below the 29,000 psych level. But until ES doesn't break this, we won't head lower. We're going to have a nasty pop, right? And we already know if it does have a nasty pop, we already know where it can pop into, which is the zone here, right? We won't be caught off guard or by surprise why it did pop. Hope that makes sense to everyone. Pass the ball. But yeah, that's literally my full strategy. I just let you guys in my little head right now, like how I look at trading when it's live, when it's happening. You got to think. I know it's hard for beginners to look at this while it's happening, but I promise the more you do it, the more charts you chart up every single night. I just got to tell you guys that every single night I used to chart up for at least an hour to 2 hours minimum, charting up different tickers. I used to chart up Apple, Nvidia, Google, Microsoft every single fucking night when I was trading. When I first started trading, because I was like, this is all repetition. So the more you do it on more charts, what's gonna happen is just gonna the same strategy is gonna apply onto those charts. Look at that. Beautiful pop. Why wouldn't I short that? Because ES never broke below the low. And this is how you save yourself and you save your accounts. You wait for confirmation. I can't stress that enough. Wait and wait and wait for confirmation. Wait for them to match up, guys. If they don't match up, that's telling you, hey, something's about to happen. Did I not say if it holds, it's going to have a nasty pop? Look at that. I can't make this shit up. You guys are seeing this live with me right now. This is not pre-recorded bullshit. This is shit that's happening live in real time. Look at that pop. Look at that. I'm telling you guys, bro. No ball. I do trade stock. I trade options. Stocks I do long term, bro. I do investments. But I still trade options. I just alerted options on Friday. Holy ball knowledge. What do I got back? Yeah, I still trade options, everything, bro. We be killing it. We be killing it on both options and futures, bro. That's crazy. Wait for ES to break as well as NQ. Exactly. And that is why I tricked you guys. Say, who would have took that trade here? I personally wouldn't have, because ES never had the confirmation. We could have just continued higher as it's doing. It's trying to continue higher. This is why we're profitable, folks. Exactly. Yeah, we need to accept to be okay, even if it's in our direction without confirmation. Yep. If you guys are like in my Discord, they know that sometimes we wait over an hour and a half for confirmation. Like, one of the biggest things that I stress all the time is confirmation. Confirmation is everything. Because if you're jumping the gun too early, bro, it's like, for what? You're just trying to... Because when you hit, what does that do? That feeds into you that now you're confident, you're cocky, you're like, hell yeah, I got it this time. But realistically, you just got lucky, right? You didn't follow your own rules. You didn't follow your strategy. You didn't wait for both of them to break. You got lucky. Cool, you know? Like here, if you would have took it and then hit here, you would have got lucky. But let's say you wouldn't have put stops and break even or in profits, bro. You would have took a loss. You would have took a loss, right? Does that make sense? You see that? But yeah. I meant like Apple. Yeah, it's because, well, you gotta remember, I trade the indices. I trade NQ and ES, bro. So it's easier for me to just alert QQ and SPY as I'm watching those instead of having all the charts open and, you know, alerting those. Then I gotta go from watching QQ, SPY, NQ, ES. Now I gotta watch QQ, SPY, NQ, ES, Nvidia, Apple, Google. It's not worth it for me. When I can just put on size on the indices on options and then just bank off of those. It just depends on you and your account realistically. But for me, I prefer it that way. Excuse me. You damn would have been stopped. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Like that's why you wait for confirmation, guys. Exactly. Yeah, that will get a bad habit and kill you long term. Yeah, that's why I tell my community, bro. If are you looking to just get one payout? Like if your goal is I just want to get to a payout, this shit ain't for you, bro. If your goal is just to get to a payout, then quit trading because you got to think of this long term. It's like, okay, how can I survive this week? How can I survive next week? How can I survive this month, next year? Long term. Always think of long term. Don't think about trying to pass it, like get a big day, bro. Let me tell you something. You know how many fucking people I know that hit big in one day and lose it all the next day or within that week and never make it to a fucking payout? There's even people in my community sometimes that do that shit, and I get on their asses. They're like, bro, you're always right. You always tell us this, and you're always right. I'm like, bro, because I've been there. I've done that. I've done it a million times. I tell everyone all the time, whatever you think you're doing is bad, bro. I've done that shit times 100 times in the 8 years I've done this shit. I've probably done the worst shit you can ever think of, bro. So when I tell you guys it's for a reason, it's because I've been there. I've done it. I don't want you guys to experience it. I don't want you guys to start off from zero again. I don't want you guys to blow up accounts when you don't need to, when I'm literally holding your hands to the fucking promised land, you know? But at the same time, I used to stress about that, and I had to realize like, not everyone wants to help. Not everyone needs to help. Not everyone's gonna listen to you. So fuck it. Whoever does listen to me, the payouts right here on the payout flex on the Discord, it shows who follows along exactly as we say, and who actually follows the strategy, follows the discipline, follows our rules. The payout flex shows it. Literally, we have a payout section where people could post their payouts whenever they get it. It's always the same consistent people, and it's always the same people asking me questions, right? Because they want to learn, they want to get better. Like, okay, what about this? They send me their chart. Hey, this, that. I'm always answering. I'm always on Discord for the same reason. Look at that fucking pop. Oh my god, how many people did I save here? Look at that. And now we're at the 15-minute optimal though. Look at that. Look how many people I just saved here. Sheesh. What a fucking. That's insane. That's insane, guys. I saw many people like that in the beginning. How often you join the tournaments? They don't have them that often, bro. It just depends when they do. But yeah, beautiful setup there. Beautiful reaction. Yeah. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'm done charting here for the night. There's nothing else for me to chart. It's just really waiting for the larger time frame. For me, I don't want to trade overnight anymore. I would want to wait for the 4-hour level to hit. Or if this 15-minute does reject here, right? If we do reject off the 15-minute optimal and we close above this high on a 5-minute, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for a 5-minute break below this low instead of a 1 minute. Instead of playing the 1 minute very aggressively, I would want to wait for the 5 minute to shift below that low. So then I have confirmation that larger time frame, obviously we know the 4-hour closed below, we know the hour day closed below, we know that the 15-minute came to retest, but now we have a 5-minute shift to the downside. Then at that situation, it makes sense for me to take the risk to continue shorting than rather try to long when every single time frame went bearish again. Does that make sense? So that's where you just become patient and disciplined and you wait for that to happen. Or if you want to gamble, you gamble longs here and you get cooked, right? Because you're already at the rejection zone. So you gotta decide what you want to do. You made some money off that? Nice. So we're not trading wedging means. Honestly, that's the biggest thing is like we have so much time. I do this full time, so like I have so much time on my hands, bro. Like that's why I go to the gym twice a day. I just go do random shit, random adventures, and just kind of kill time. And if there's a setup, my alerts allow notify me, and then I go look at my chart. If you're sitting here, if you're catching yourself sitting here, watching a chart all fucking day long, you're not gonna be profitable. And I promise you're not profitable. The moment you can literally just set alerts, walk away, you're set. It's okay if you watch it when you're in your trade. That it's okay. But if you're sitting here, you already took a trade, and you're watching it and watching it and watching it, and not like watching it to learn, like back testing or anything. You're just watching just to like one more trade. You're not profitable, right? I'll say it again. But if you're setting alerts, it's gonna help you long term too, because that's gonna help you with if maybe you struggle with over trading or maybe you struggle with revenge trading. How can you prevent that? You don't do that unless it hits your levels, right? And that's pretty much it. Side questing Max. Yeah. Bro, how are you doing? I'm really happy that you picked me as a winner. I will always support you. I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Honestly, I'm probably at the happiest point in my life I've ever been. Honestly, I feel very good. I'm healthy. My family's healthy. Let me give you guys. I was gonna make a video of this, but let me give you guys a little rundown of trading. Let me tell you guys that I know most of you guys do trading or when do trading for money, and it's amazing. The money is great, but let me tell you guys what's better than this. So like, a while back, my mom got sick. I was in my apartment and my mom got sick, and she got like a brain aneurysm, right? She got really really sick, and thankfully for me that like I trade for a living that I could take off whatever time I want, go to the hospital. It was an hour away, the hospital, which was fucking insane from where I lived at that time. It was like an hour away. So I'm thankful that trading allowed me at that point to be able to be free, to be able to help out my mom whenever she needed me there at the hospital, right? To like bring things, feed her or whatever. Compared to like if I was working a job, bro, how often would I have visited my mom? How often would I have been able to do things for my mom? So I just want to give you guys this message, like trading. I know if you're getting into it, you want to do it for the money. The money's great. The money's gonna naturally come. I promise. It's naturally gonna come. But think about the better things that trading allows you to do. What trading allows me to do is have the freedom. Like I go pick up my parents every Tuesday. I'd be like, hey, let's go eat somewhere. You know, I have time to take them out. I have time to take myself out, travel all the time that I want, go wherever the fuck I want, whenever I want, spend whatever I want, whenever I want. But most importantly, it's the freedom you get. So if you're chasing anything in trading, I would say it's chase the freedom. Especially if you have a job, you know that freedom is very tough. You never have freedom if you're working 9 to 5. You probably have a set routine, and you're never able to do anything outside of that routine because you're already stuck working those hours. So that's kind of something I want to let you guys know and give you guys that motivation within trading rather than just the money of trading. Okay. But yeah, the time that comes with it, it's amazing. I'm gonna trade random in Tradify Cup. Yeah, like I told my group, I'm trading. I'm gonna do the tournament too, but doesn't mean here I'm gonna do stupid trade. Like I'm a copy trade in my accounts. Whatever my accounts make is whatever it's gonna make. If I don't make to 1,000 wins, cool. I'm not gonna focus on something that's free. I'm not gonna focus on something that's free and risk all my money that I'm making on my accounts for that. No, like I'm just gonna let it copy my other trades. If I hit, I hit. If I survive 1,000, cool. If I go against someone and I beat them, cool. You know, it's part of the game. Fib settings, please. Okay, y'all ready? There's a YouTube video of it. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds screenshot. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Look at that rejection though off the optimal so far. Nicely. That doesn't mean you smack it right away, right? We now are waiting for what? A 5-minute shift below the low here. First 3 weeks I was doing scrolling on and watched the charts 2 hours. Nice. We usually trade within first hour or 2 hours. Take time off to help my dad. Yeah, bro, it's tough, but like I said, I thank God everything was okay. Everything turned out great. I just believed, and like I said, most importantly, God allowed me to be able to do trading for a living and have the time that I have and had to be able to, you know, be with her at her toughest time. So that's something I'm very thankful and always be thankful for. I will learn facts need to be putting in exactly, bro. Yeah, see, that's the biggest thing. It's like then you're putting PTO, then you gotta ask your boss, hey, can I take the day off? I'm like, nah, bro, fuck that. But yeah, other than that, guys, good night. Take care. Peace out. I don't trade on Mondays. I'm not even gonna trade tomorrow. Honestly, we already sold off. We already hit my TP on the sell, so no reason for me to trade this. I'll trade on Tuesday, but don't forget, you guys get three free day trial through on the WAP for the Discord if you guys want to try it out. Please, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you sign up for the 3 days, make sure that if you want to stay, you don't cancel it. But if you want to cancel, please cancel before the 3 days end. I'm not gonna sugarcoat you guys and tell you, hey, don't cancel. No, bro. See if you like it. If you like the way my community, like how I run everything, how my mods alert for me when so I live trade. This is the biggest thing of the Discord. I live trade on the Discord, and then my mods type out my alerts as I'm alerting them live. So let's say I say NQ sells here. The mod types it out at the same millisecond. He's like, NQ sells. So like, I know not everyone can join the live every single day. You have people that are working jobs. That's why we have the alerts too. So people see the alert. Oh, okay, boom. Let me smack my position. And then we update as I'm saying it. He's updating too. Okay, 20 points here. Try your stop, or 50 points here. Sell 1, sell 2, blah blah. So that's the biggest thing on the Discord community. But try it out. It's 3 free days, guys. If you don't like it, cancel. If you like it, stay. I promise you, you'll make back your money in the first fucking day. I can guarantee you that. 99.9%. I'll guarantee you that. But yeah, see y'all Tuesday. Peace out. Take care. Don't forget to tag us on Twitter, Instagram. We announced 2 winners today. I'll do 1 more and I'll choose them tomorrow morning. If you guys tag me, I'll make it interesting. If you guys screenshot anything of this whole video today, you tag me on Twitter and or Instagram, I'd really appreciate it. But if you guys tag me on Instagram, Jordan Vera _, I will give you guys an account as well. So that'll be 3 accounts out of the 4 given out. Other than that, guys, peace out. Yeah, it's gonna be Lucerflex 50K. Like, you want to hook me up in the account? It's worth it for anyone who's second guessing. I'm working on my first one because nice, bro, nice. But yeah, guys, peace out. Take care, and I'll catch you guys on